Hey, what up, y'all? It's Feels a Thrill. It's Sunday, September 7th. Just going through a stack of some coverless comics here in a box here to figure out what the hell to do with these things. They've been sitting around for 20 years now. Let's go through some of these and see what they look like here. Hold on. It's mostly like silver and some gold and a little bit of bronze. Hold on for a minute. Get my camera situated here. Yeah, let's take a look here. Action Comics with one of this. 401. I kind of kept some of these things as I bought collections and kind of, I kept some of the silver ones if they were in decent shape. Here's All American 114. Here's an All-Star Western number 65. Trigger Twins. Yeah, see, this one's got a little bend right there. Aquaman 34. Aquaman number 39. I'll give you some dates. It was 1968. Here goes Adam from 1967, number 33. Some of these I could sell in lots on eBay or something like that. Here's an older Batman. It's at number 92, June of 1955. Yeah. The Fan Mail of Danger. It's kind of cool looking at these from just the perspective of the splash page, or instead of just looking at the covers and, Yeah. Ooh, Ace the Bat Hound. That might be the first appearance of that guy, dude. I'll have to look. Here was a Batman 174 from September 1965. Yeah. It's always fun to see the little things on the back, little advertisements. Little Pete. Here's another Batman, number 183. It's got Poison Ivy. Yeah. That's August 1966. Here goes Batman. It's an 80-page giant issue, number 185, October 1966. It breaks down all the stories you get inside. Batman Jr. Let's see what that's all about. Batman Jr. Yeah. Good reads. Another Batman, number 189. February 1967. Another Batman. This one's 194. Now we're in August. I got these right. Yeah, February, August. Oh, you know what? These are out of order. I just recognized that. Hold on, let me resort these things here. I'll do that later. Now we're on Action. Now we're in the Aces. Action 301. June 1963. And moving on to Action 322. April 1965. Clark Kent in the big house. Uh-oh, my man got in some trouble there. Action Comics number 334 from March of 1966. It's an 80-page giant issue. Basically reprint titles. Do you make life hard for yourself? A cool little advertisement on the back. That looks to be the first, maybe it's the first appearance of Supergirl. Obviously, it's a reprint. Yeah. Oh, it's like probably a Supergirl issue. Sometimes these 80-page giants had like a theme. This is probably all Supergirl stories. Yeah. It's a Superman title, though. All right, moving on to Action Comics. 374 from March 1969. Then moving on to The Adventures of Bob Hope. This one is it's like a pre-code issue, April, May 1953. These are always fun to read. What else do you get in here? There's a little peg on the back, a little advertisement. I think, no, it's actual. It's kind of a filler comic story. There's another filler story, Bullseye Billy. This ran for about 100 issues, I think. Slightly more than 100 issues. Bob Hope ran for 100 issues. Here's another Bob Hope. This one's from February, March 1954, number 25, another pre-code issue. Always fun. Now moving up to the 60s from Adventures of Bob Hope, number 83, from October, November of 1962. Yeah. Here's a number 86 from April, May 1964. What is this one? Yeah. Let me see, do I got these out of 83 and 86? Okay. Now moving on to the Adventures of Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. Here's an issue from October 1952. The famous comedy team. They're fun. It's a fun title. See what else is in here. Ooh, Kitty Card. There's also some backup stories in here. See, these are fun just to read. Yeah. Cool stuff. Yeah. Let's see what we got here. This is All American Men of War, number 33. May 1956, a very early Silver Age issue. Was never huge on the war titles, but I have some in there. Like I said, as I got through collections and I kept the coverless ones to the side, and eventually it got bigger and bigger. And I did sell quite a few of the coverless ones I had in lots, but these are ones I kept because they're a little bit older and cooler. Here's a Batman number 198, February 1968. It's one of those 80-page giant issues again. All kinds of stories in this one. Yeah. I like the pre-code crime. Here's a Big Town number 2. I don't have the date on this one, but it's probably a late 40s, early 50s issue. It was a popular radio show back before TV. They're pretty good. They're just kind of like detective stories and stuff. Here's one called The Human Bomb. Pretty cool stuff. Now moving on to Black Hawk, June 1963. Here's Boy Commandos, Golden Age book, number 35. The story of Commando X. Yeah. Here's the back cover ad. Those are kind of cool too. There's all some cool side things in there. Casey the Cop. What else you got in here? Got an advertisement for a Western Comics in there. Put the cool little advertisements in there so the kids can see what they want for a Christmas to get a famous erector set. Yeah, what else is in here? Anyhow, here goes. Brave and the Bold, number 36, one of the Hawkman tryout issues. Joe Kubert artwork. I like Murphy Anderson better, but take it. Another Brave and the Bold. This one's issue number 52. I think it's a Sergeant Rock type. I can't remember Battlestar. I can't remember the title of this one, but here's another Brave and Bold. Number 75, December, January 1967. Batman and the Spectre. Then jumping on to this is a copy I had when I was a kid. It's got my name on that thing right there. It's from Brave and Bold, number 112. Yeah. All kinds of stories in here. They're fun to read. Then, moving on to, here's a Buzzy, a Golden Age Buzzy. 1954, January. They're a fun read. Ooh, it's got a Superman advertisement in there too. Issue number 70 something. All right, Challenges of the Unknown. This is a number 10, 1959, October, November 1959. The Caveman Beast. It's another Challengers. This is number 41 from December 1964. Comic Cavalcade. This is issue number 47. Golden Age issue of Fox and Crow. These were the thicker ones. They were like 15-cent cover prices because they had more pages. Other comics. Got a lot of stories. Someone filled out that little puzzle page. But it's got stories from, Dodo and the Frog. That was one of their features. Fox and the Crow, we've already said that. What's his name? Bagby Bear. See, I got to read some of these things. What else did they got in here? Giggletons presents the bunny who looked funny. Never heard of that one. Here. Dizzy Dog. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff in here. Flippy and Flop, who had their own series. Yeah. Another Fox and the Crow, number 48. No, Comic Cavalcade featuring Fox and the Crow. Comic Cavalcade, number 48. J. Rufus Lion. There's all kinds of stuff in here. Another Comic Cavalcade. This is number 52 from August 1952. Yeah. This one's got some curled up pages in the back. You see that? Yeah. Still cool. Another Comic Cavalcade. Number 60. Number 60. Dizzy Dog. Here's a scarce one. Congo Bill, number 4. The spotted leopard strikes again. That's kind of a nice splash page. What else is in here? Even this title kind of had some backups, you know, Professor Eureka. Here's the Detective Comics. This one's at the tail end of the Golden Age, September 1954, one of the last pre-code issues. Yeah. Oh, it's got Catwoman in it. People always want those. Here's a backup story. Misto, the Magician Detective. Who is this guy? It's Roy Raymond, TV detective. Okay. Next stack. Okay. Detective Comics number 284 from October 1960. 10-cent issue. The Negative Batman. Backup features were things like, John John's Manhunter from Mars. And the other backup was, it's another Roy Raymond issue. Detective Comics number 315 from May of 1963. Detective Comics number 379, September 1968. Moving on to the Bronze Age. Now you got Detective Comics from January 1972. Here's the back cover head. Again, it's kind of cool to see them without the covers, as you can actually, you know, gives you a different perspective on the book. Got some generic backups, the Human Target, detective type story. What else has it got here? A reprint, another Roy Raymond. moving on. This is one of mine. It's got my initials on it, so I could tell this is one of my kids' caught when I was a kid. April, May 1974, Detective Comics number 440. It's a 100-page giant issue. So it had lots of stories in it. That was kind of one of the notable backups that ran on for a little while, the Manhunter. Then a lot of reprints, Golden Age reprints. There's advertisements of other issues that were on sale at the time. Yeah. And, oh, a Dollman. Dollman wasn't a DC property. It was Quality Comics, but I think they bought the line after Quality Comics folded in the mid-50s. Okay, moving on to, here's a partial cover one. I'm sure you guys know the deals about these, that any unsold copies back in the days, the newsstand could return to get their money back. But they just had to return the top part of the comic logo. And sometimes unscrupulous stores would sell these, they'd give it, this is 10 cents. They'd say, hey, 5 cents each, kid. It's basically missing the, what is it? Doom Patrol 91. Here's an 80-page giant. That's the name of the title, 80-page giant. It does feature Batman in this one. All right. Then moving on to Falling in Love, 1932 from February 1960. One of the love titles they did. I think DC had like 4 or 5 love titles. Girls like these kind of things. Guys collect these now because they're a lot scarcer than the superhero counterparts. They probably had a fraction of the print run. Dear, I love you. Here goes a Flash. Number 115. September 1960. Flash got a little bit fat right there. What does it go? The day the Flash weighed 1,000 pounds. Jesus. There's another one. There's a Flash. Number 122 from August 1961. Beware the atomic grenade. There's the back of this. Let's see what other stories are here. Oh, a Kid Flash story. Let's see. Here's another Flash. This is number 160 from April 1966. This is a 100-page giant or 80-page giant issue. These ones, they kind of just threw a whole bunch of reprints in here. There's a Johnny Quick reprint. He was kind of like a fast dude, like the Flash of the 40s or early 50s. Yeah. Some good reading in these ones here. Advertising for the current issue of Justice League America. Anyhow, here's a Flash number 162 from June 1966. Here's another 80-page giant. This is a Flash 169, April 1967. All kinds of stories in this thing. Yeah. Here's another Flash. This is number 177 from March 1968. Here's another Flash. This one, 178 from 1968. Didn't I just say? Oh, it was 177 and 178. What's the first story in here? Yeah. Okay. Here, let me get some of these books set up in here. Hold on. Change it up a little bit. I should learn some editing so I can cut these little sections out right here. So how's your day going, y'all? Good. Bored on a Sunday, so I'm just making a video. Hanging out with you in my little comic book room here. Okay, what do we got now? We got House of Secrets number 10, May, June 1968. The Isle of Puppet Man. I was a prisoner of the sea. Fox and the Crow, number 34, August 1966. They had their own title, too. Another Fox and the Crow. October, November 1963. Here's a funny, hold on, is this? Here's a funny stuff featuring Dodo and the Frog. It was kind of a humor title that had several features in it here. What else is in here? Oh, this is all Dodo and the Frog. And a couple other features. Doodles Duck. And he thought of every damn thing here. Yeah. Here's one's another Golden Age crime, a Gangbusters, number 11, probably from the very early 50s. Here's the back. What other stories are in here? Here's a. These are fun to read too. These little ads and stuff. Bazooka, bubblegum. I guard the railroad. What else is in here? The man who lost his face. Look, there goes a Sweet World's Finest down there. A Boy Commandos issue. Okay, the next one is up is GI Combat, number 50 from July 1957. GI Combat. GI Combat number 106 from June of 1964. Here's a Hawkman, number 11 from December 65. Great Murphy Anderson artwork. Oh, look at that splash. That's pretty. Yeah. He sure could draw. Try to open this up a little bit. Try to find a good page. Yeah. Another Hawkman. It's number 12, February 1964. Here is a House of Mystery, number 129, December 1962. Kind of, you know, mystery and slash horror type stories. At that time, it was kind of lamer horror stories. Or I always love these pages where you can see like the upcoming issues and stuff. Anyhow, here's a House of Mystery number 161, featuring Dial H for Hero. Yeah. Here's a House of Secrets, number 36, September 1960. Kind of House of Secrets and House of Mystery were sister titles, kind of. They were basically identical type stories, kind of like mystery titles and strange, bizarre stories and that kind of stuff. Oh yeah. Here goes a Jackie Gleason and the Honeymooners, number 9. Probably a little bit scarcer. October, November 1957. The old TV show. Let me see what other kind of stuff was in here. Rudy the Repairman. That's interesting. Here's a Golden Age Jimmy Wakely comic, number 11. I don't have the date on this one. They publish the dates down in the bottom here sometimes, but on the Golden Age ones, it was actually on the inside of the cover. So that's a number 11. Here's the back cover, advertising an all-star Western. Let me see what kind of features are in here. Fun reads. What else is in here? Ooh, Kit Colby had a tech story. Yeah. Here's a Justice League of America number 31. Hey, Hawkman joins on this issue. See? Yeah. Here's a Justice League of America number 45 from 1966. Here's a Justice League of America number 58 from November 67. One of the 80-page giant reprint issues. Featured all the reprints. tons of stories in here. I think this is an earlier issue they're reprinting right here. Like one of the first ones. Put these back on, bro. Yeah. Okay. Moving on to, we got the Many Loves of Dobie Gillis. #1 issue. He had an early TV series in the early 60s and featured Gilligan, whoever that guy's name was, as a sidekick before Gilligan. What else is in here? Oh, there he goes right there. There's that Gilligan dude. See? Bob Denver, was that his name? Yeah. Just fun kind of comedy issues. Shapely girls in there and stuff, yeah. All right, here goes a Metal Man. #6 from February, March 1964. Ever fun. Another Metal Man, #18, 1966. Another Metal Man, #24, March 1967. We got Metamorpho. Oh, it's a #1. Metamorpho #1. I think this only ran for 15 or 18 issues. But it's a fun title. Plus they had their Brave and Bold 3-issue tryout series. Fun stuff. Here's another Metamorpho #4. 1966. Moving on to some pre-code crime from November, December 1952 is My District Attorney. One of the three crime titles. DC did Gangbusters, Big Town, and Mr. District Attorney. There might be an oddball one in there too, but yeah. Man of 1,000 faces. Here's another Mr. District Attorney. This one's issue #35 from September, October 1953. What other things were in here? There's one of the stories in there. Yeah. Here's another Mr. District Attorney. This one is #36 from November, December 1953. Here's one of the stories that are in there. Here's another Mr. District Attorney. This is #40 from 1954. There's a back cover advertisement. Here's another Mr. Oh, I got a ton of these. There's #43 from January 1955. Probably the last pre-code issue. Here's a #61 Mr. District Attorney from 1958. I believe this is like towards probably one of the last issues of the run. Here's a Mutt and Jeff with a partial cover. Inside. Some of these Mutt and Jeffs they were like one page. They were like reprints from the newspaper, and they were kind of like, I don't know. They never had like full story. There was like one page, half page stories. They could have been like reprints from like a newspaper, news strips or something like that. Anyways, it ran for a long time. My Greatest Adventure, #44. We fought the beast of Petrified Island. Yeah. That's from 1960, so it's a 10-center. Again, I love these when it advertises like upcoming issues down here. Another My Greatest Adventures. This is #76 from February 1963. Here's one of the stories inside. Moving on, here's a Mystery in Space #63 from November of 1960, featuring Adam Strange. He also had other stories. Here's one of the other stories. Here's another Mystery in Space #67 from 1961. I know I look over my glasses a lot here. Here's one of the interior stories. Moving on to Our Army at War, number 28. Pre-code issue, November 1954. Other issue there. I was never a huge war fan, but you know, I got some of them. Another Our Army at War, number 36 from July of 1955. Yeah. Here's another Our Army at War, number 109 from August 1961, featuring Sergeant Rock. Our Army at War, number 166, April 1966. Our Fighting Forces, number 84 from 1964, May. Here's a Peter Porkchops, a Golden Age issue, number 10. Gold back cover. Looking at some of the interior stuff. Here's another Peter Porkchops with a partial cover. Two of the partial cover. This one is number 21 from 1953. And this one, '22 from 53. Plastic Man number 1, 1966. Here's a Real Screen Comics, a Golden Age issue, number 48, probably from the early 50s. It's got Fox and the Crow. They kind of rotated this cast of characters through various titles like Comic Cavalcade and their own series and stuff like that. Real Screen Comics, this is number 51. Here's a Real Screen Comics, number 53 from August of 1952. Jeez. Here's another one, number 61 from 1953. Got the partial cover on it. Yeah. Here's a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer issues, the 1958-59 issues. I believe these would come out like, you know, maybe once a year for a few years during Christmas time or something, like stocking stuffer. Here's a showcase issue featuring the Spectre, one of the tryout issues of the Spectre before he had his own series. Yeah. And here's an actual Spectre, number 1. This is the first issue. I believe that's Murphy Anderson artwork on the first issue. Yeah. Here's a cool little advertisement. Here's another Spectre. This is Spectre number 5 from 1968. This one might be Neil Adams' artwork. Earlier Neil Adams for DC. Look at that. Yeah. Then we're going on to, what is this one? Has a partial Star Spangled War Stories, number 3 from 1952, early issue. See, you got the partial cover on it. See? Back cover. Pull up one of the stories from here. Booby Trap. That's kind of cool. All right. Take another stack out of here. Put these back real quick. Yeah, baby. That and that. This video's getting kind of long now. 34 minutes. I want to have to make 2 videos out of this box. Okay. Bigger stack. Okay, so the next thing we got is a Star Spangled War Stories number 57 from May of 1957. We got a Strange Adventures number 116, May of 1960. Fun title. I love Strange Adventures. They're pretty fun. Interesting, weird stories in here. Yeah. Some Superboy. Superboy number 83 from September 1960, so that's a 10-cent issue. 109 from December 1963. Number 121 from June of 1965. Moving on to Superman, here's a number 139, August 1960, so it's still in the 10-cent era. Superman 147, August 1961, The Great Mento, whoever that dude is. Here's another Superman, number 151, February 1962. Here's another Superman, 153 from May 1962. And here's a number 158 from 1963. Here's a number 183, January 1966. One of the 80-page giant reprint issues. This one's got the back cover on it still. But yeah, there's a really old reprint for Golden Age Superman. Superman number 186, 1966. Here goes Superman number 187, June 1966. Another 80-page giant. You know the deal. This is cool because it actually features the cover of some of the earlier issues. See, like they're reprinting number 233 from Action Comics. That's kind of cool. Oh yeah, it's got the covers on it. You didn't see that all the time. It features not only the story, but the original cover. I like it. Yeah. Kind of cool. All right, Superman, what is this? This is must be an 80-page giant issue. I don't see the issue number on this one, which is unusual because they're usually right on the bottom in this era. But it's probably one of the giant Superman issues. Like Superman, it's kind of like an annual. They had like a, Superman annual 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's probably one of those kind of issues. Here's Superman's Girlfriend, number 23, February 1961. I believe it's still a 10-cent era here, right at the tail end of it. They're kind of fun to read. Yeah, she got stretching powers in that one. Here's number Lois Lane, Superman's Girlfriend, Lois Lane, number 41 from May 1963. The Devil and Lois Lane. Here's a number 45, November 63 issue, Superman Lois Hit Record. Here's a Lois Lane, number 53 from November 1964. Yeah, fun Casey and the cops in the back. Fun reads. When Lois and Alana were brides. Here's a Lois Lane, number 68 from 1966. An 80-page giant issue. Got all kinds of stories in here for you. They were 25 cents at the time, so that was double the price of a regular size comic. But you got a lot more pages. Here's another number 71 Lois Lane. I think this features like the second Catwoman appearance of the Silver Age. Here's another Superman's Girlfriend, Lois Lane, number 86 from September 1968, an 80-page giant issue. Here's another one. Number 95, another 80-page giant issue. All kinds of stories around these things. I'm going to go to a Bronze Age issue. Number 116 from November 1971. Yeah. They had backup stories by this. The Rose and the Thorn. Now moving on to Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen. This is issue number 44 from April 1960, 10-center. The Wolfman of Metropolis. Here's a Jimmy Olsen number 48 from 1960. Here's number 66 from January 1963. Here's an 80-page giant, Jimmy Olsen, number 113 from 1968. Again, tons of stories in these things. Tons of stories. Yeah. Here's a Superman family. This is the title after Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen stopped publishing. They kind of combined them all into one thing. This is a 1974 issue. Yeah, it had Jimmy Olsen stories. It had a lot of reprints, some new stuff. Here's Tales of the Unexpected, 1957, October. Kind of a mystery title. That ran for damn near 100 issues or so, if not more. The Man Who Collected Planets. Here's another Tales of the Unexpected, number 91 from October, November 1965. Here's Tales of the Unexpected 92 from December 65. Here's the interior page. Here's the Tales of the Unexpected number 93 from February, March 1966. Here is a Teen Titans, 1971. This is number 32. Here's a Tomahawk. It's an earlier one. It's number 9 from pre-code issue, January, February 1952. Let's see what kind of things are in here. Here's an interior page. Here's another Tomahawk. This is number 11, The Girl Who Hated Tomahawk. Very early 50s, earlier issue. Back page. Yeah. Another Tomahawk. This one is number 15. I got 1953, another pre-code issue. Now, more than ever, it's advertising a cool house of mystery comics from that era. Here's another Tomahawk, another pre-code issue, number 19 from 1953. Here's an interior shot. Another Tomahawk from number 35 from September 1955. So one of the earlier code issues. Another Tomahawk, 1956, number 40. Another Tomahawk, going all the way to issue number 83 in November of 1962. Okay, let's get ready for the next stack, Jack. Again, I should probably try to get rid of some of this stuff. I buy and sell older comics. But these ones will probably have to be sold in lots. But there's enough over here where I could probably do several lots of, make some interesting sets and stuff. Again, I didn't keep any of the human, like I kept DC issues and some Golden Age issues that, you know, I don't really keep like, if there were Dells or Charltons, I generally don't keep that kind of stuff. Nothing wrong with that kind of stuff, but we're going to get to the Golden Age in a minute here, but some other weird oddball issues. But this is the tail end of the DC. I didn't have this. This one's in a bag and a board, but it's a Western comic. Here's another Western comics. This one's number 63 from 1957, featuring Pow Wow Smith. And the Wyoming Kid. Here's an interior. Here's a Western Comics number 64 from 1957. Here's another Western Comics from number 70 from July of 1960. Here's another one from March of 1960, Western Comics number 80. Matt Savage. Wonder Woman, 142 from 1963. 142. And World's Finest. Here's the number 96 from 1958. Nice old 10-center. I think these had, yeah, backups by the Green Arrow. That's Kirby artwork right there. King Kirby right there. And they also had a, they had a Tomahawk. They featured Tomahawk here too. One of the stores was Tomahawk. World's Finest number 123 from 1963, 12-cent era. Another Green Arrow backup story. Here's World's Finest number 143 from August 1964. Here is World's Finest 152 from 1965, September. Here is World's Finest 161 from 1966. One of those thick 80-page giant issues. All kinds of stories. Just all kinds of stories. Oh. Very fun read. Here is moving on to the 70s. 1975 is World's Finest number 227. Another, this is a 100-page giant issue. All kinds of stories in these things, dude. Cool advertising page. That's the end of my DCs, and I'm moving on to some oddball titles here. Hold on. Yeah, baby. Come on. Take a stack out of here, too. Okay. So, here's some oddball titles. Some of these, the first page on the interior was an ad, so I got to open the next page and see what the heck this is. I don't even know what this title is. You can research these using the Grand Comics database by searching the story title. But I didn't. Some cool Golden Age stuff. Here's a Black Cobra issue. This is a good one. Yeah, it's a superhero title from a scarce period. Yeah. Black Cobra. What was this other one here? I don't know, but it's got cool stuff like that. Okay, so moving on. This one, I'm not sure, is another one that, you know, it's a Fiction House title because it's got the Fiction House comics on the cover. Again, that's the first page. It wasn't comics like most one. You probably have to. Oh, it's a Sheena. She's the bomb. That's a good one. It's got other features like Longbow. I think Longbow had his own series too. Here's an early art, not early, but like a late 40s, early 50s Archie. Someone scribbled on the back of this thing. But it's an earlier Archie. Let's pull one of these pages up. Here's a cool one. The Avenger. Yeah. He ran, what was this? I can't remember the publisher on this. Some nice artwork in here. Really nice artwork. I got another one of these too. These didn't run that long. Oh, Bob Powell. Bob Powell artwork. He signed it right there. See? He's a known artist. That's a nice page. Let's see if this other stuff's in here. Yeah. Looks good to me. Moving on, here's a Robin Hood. This is Robin Hood. Who was this published by? Magazine Enterprises. Oh. Had it open. Robin Hood. That's kind of cool. I got another one of these. Capture of Maid Marian. This one's from 1957. It says number 6. Here's a Crime Buster. This is probably a Crime Does Not Pay, or one of those types of Lev Gleason titles. Crime Does Not Pay, or I can't remember. They had a couple similar titles. There's a Crime Buster story in there. Here's another one. You can't take me with you. Here's an interior. Here's another one. This one, oh, this is a Daredevil, which is also made, that's a Lev Gleason title. It wasn't like the Daredevil you know of. This is the name of the series. There was a different Daredevil in the 40s and early 50s. And I think at this time in the run, Daredevil had disappeared from the run and it got replaced by these just general crime stories and the little wise guys and kind of cheesy. I think they had their fans, but here's a, what's this title? I can see it here. Oh, it's a crime. Oh, it's this Crime and Punishment because it says it right on the top. It's a Crime and Punishment issue. Let's take a look at her. Find the beginning of a story here. The Blonde Bombshell. Here's a Crime Does Not Pay by Lev Gleason. Crime titles, all pre-code stuff. These are, hey, some of the Crime Does Not Pay, man, they're pretty affordable for like older comics, man. I think they're an interesting title. And fun to read. Here's a this is Crime Does Not Pay number 102 from September of 1951. Let's take a look at one of the interior issues. Yeah. Here's a title called Explorer Joe. That's an interesting one. Here's an interior story. Here's another. I believe this is Crime Does Not Pay. No, what is this one? Actually, I don't know what this title is. It could be a. I think it is because I remember this dude. Their mascot. Mad Magician of Crime. Here's a comic of a Wild Boy. Early 50s. Some weird random ass comic. Probably didn't run for that many issues. Here's a Kanga. I think this is a Fiction House title. One of those jungle titles. They were fun. Camilla. Damn, Camilla's fine too. Look at her. If I had to be in the jungle, I want to run into her. They always featured kind of like these Fiction House titles, you know, scantily clad women and stuff. The art was pretty good. Look at that art. That's nice. They did a good job. You know, it had kind of scantily clad women, and I don't know. They're super fun. Wombi the Jungle Boy. Neat. Here's an Airboy. Airboy Comics. Does it have an issue number? It says Volume 8, Number 2, 1951. Oh yeah, Airboy had like different volumes. Like the volumes didn't run that long. Some of the arts in here are okay, and this one's just, yeah, it's just okay artwork in that title, that story. Okay, what else we got here? We got a tour by Joe Kubert. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Look at that page. Nice. Double page. Here's a Longbow. That's a cool old Western comic. I don't know if this is Fiction House title. I think it might be. Let's see what else is in here. Usually well done art stuff. Here goes a teen title called Vicky. Probably early 50s issue. Here's, I don't know what this is. Let's see. This one is, I don't know what this title is. It could be like just some crime. I probably have to research this and see what this is. Some crime title. Maybe not. The Vampire Goes West. It'd be a horror type thing. I don't know what the hell this is. Cool. Here's A Crime and Punishment by Lev Gleason. Here's, what else do we got here? Some horror title. Some pre-code horror. I don't know what title this is. Ooh, it's got some good artwork in here. Oh yeah, it's got some scary stuff in here. Medusa. Ooh, I like this. Look at that. That's good stuff right there. That's well done. I like the artwork in here. This other story is just okay. The Ghouls Dance. Yeah, that's cool. Here's some others called Super Funnies. I don't know what it is, but it's like it's got a horror suit of Dracula in there. Super Funnies. Dopey Duck. Look at that. Cool, unusual stuff. Crime Against Man. Man, they really packed out good artwork in there. Here's another random title. I don't know what the hell this is. Let's see, Your Mightiest Force on Earth. Maybe some kind of horror mystery type book. Again, use Grand Comics database and you can pull up the actual issue. This one's kind of a funny story in here. That's interesting. Yeah, these are cool. Here's another one without anything. I'm gonna open this thing up. It's got the cover. Well, it's kind of like a Mad parody. It's like when Mad first came out as comic book form, they had a lot of people that try to copy their style. And this appears to be one of them. Yeah. Here's another fiction house title. I don't know what this is. Fire Hair. Good artwork. Yeah. Here goes A Personal Love. I wrote this on Personal Love number 23. Love comic romance title. Here's An Adventures of the Fly from 1962. It's an Archie publication. Here's some other, is it a love comic? It's a number 5 of something. I wrote the issue number on top. It's number 5. I don't know what it is. Maybe ACG? Not sure. 1946, Heroes All, a Catholic Action Illustrated. I don't know what the hell this is. That feels thinner. It's either missing some pages or that's just how it was published. It might have been like a giveaway. I don't know what the hell this is. Here's another, like, this is some kind of mystery horror issue. Jesus. Oh, this one's got some scary thing in it. Kind of cool. Look at some of these other panels. Hold on. They look scared out their ass in here. Find the right one. Oh, that's pretty cool. Other stories right here. A Laughing Dead Man. Here's a Headline Comics. This one's from 1951. This Match for Hire. Dude probably wants to get out of jail in this one. It's a crime title. Here's what is this? I don't know what this is. What does it say? features. I don't know what the hell this is. Obviously some type of crime title. There's some other old Archie. Like older, like early 50s, late 40s. That's probably early 50s. Here's an older Reggie. Probably early 50s. Here, this one actually has, this one has the cover, but no back cover. The number 78 Crime Does Not Pay. Fauntleroy. I like this too. I think he was part of the Super Duck. Man, Super Duck is an undervalued title, man. You got to collect. They're so cheap. They're awesome. I think this is a little, this 1950. They cracked me up, the early Super Ducks. It was an Archie title. Super Duck ran for about 100 issues too. It's underappreciated title. Here's it says number 18. You can see on the side there. You see that? Looks like number 18, Pals and Gals. The giant size issue. This is probably from the late 50s or very, very early 60s. Here's a Black Hawk, a Quality Comics one. It's got a partial cover on it. Look at that. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Yeah. Here's an interior. Okay, next stack. Putting these back, Jack. It's fun going through the coverless comics. Never underestimate the value of coverless comics. You never know, man. These things, you put them in lots, especially these Golden Age ones. You put 10, 20 in a lot, and people do buy them. They don't buy them really individually unless you have like a really old, specific key issue, but they're fun. All right, I'm stacking and getting it ready, y'all. Just hold tight. Got this one in here. Yeah, all the stuff. This is just one of hundreds of boxes of crap I got. Okay, moving on to some more Black Hawk. Another quality issue says number 82. Before DC got it. Another Black Hawk, this is number 85. Another quality issue. Another Black Hawk, this is number 90. The Prisoners of the Black Dungeon. Look at the interiors. Nice Golden Age issue. Number 99. The Queen of Black Hawk Island. Take a look at one of these bad boys. They're fun. I actually have the title of this one written down. It's Topsy Turvy Comics, number 1. Probably from the late 40s or early 50s. Cookie. I think Cookie had their own title, short-lived for a while. What else is in here? Icky and Mickey? What else is in here? Hold on. See if anything else interesting is in here. Even the humor titles, man. Some of these art is pretty good on some of this stuff. I don't know. For that type of title, man. Look, there's another one. It's number 3. I don't know if it's Topsy Turvy. I got all kinds of these cookies, man. Cookie. A character called Angel Puss. What else is in there? Cookie. Here's another cookie. This is number 5. Jesus, I don't know how I got all these. Kind of cool. Here's another cookie. This one, Jesus, I don't know how I got all these. Here's one with a cover on it. It's a beat up cover. The interior issue is in good condition, but the cover is shot. And it's loose too. But hey, it's still there, so hey, that's cool. There's another cookie. That's pretty cool to have all these, because this title didn't run that long. I don't think. Here's another cookie. Oh my God. This one has a partial cover. Back cover. Let's see what the first picture looks like. Oh, there's a loose cover too. Kind of cool though. Here's yet another one. Jesus. It's fun going through this stuff, I tell you. This is a quality comic, Captain Triumph. I don't know if that's the name of the title or not. I don't think so. Oh, it's Crack Comics. You can see up here. The title is Crack Comics. And they had multiple different features in these issues. You know, they had a superhero one, a humor one. They had, you know, a variety of. It's called like an anthology title. They had all kinds of different things, random stuff. Hack O'Hara. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah. This one has a cover on it. I don't know why I put it in here. Maybe it's missing pages or something, or maybe not. Pretty cool stuff in there. Look at that. It's a quality comic. There's another quality. This one's a GI Combat number 20. 4 DC had GI Combat. Why is this one in here? Some of these I got that. This looks like it has the cover. I don't know why I put it in this coverless box. Well done artwork. Yeah. Her Lonely Hours. Another call. I don't know why I got all these quality. Here's a Police Comics number 126 featuring Ken Shannon. Other features. Here's a T-Man. T-Man number 25. I think this title ran for about 50 issues approximately. The back cover is still on this one. Here's another T-Man. Number 28. Here's another T-Man. Number 29. Just an example of some of the artwork. Here's another T-Man. Number 36. Jeez. Interior art. Here's a number 15 with a cover on it. December, April. It's April, but it was stamped from, where's that cover stamp? I just saw the damn thing. Here's whether you get these free when you got a pair of shoes at whatever the shoe stores were, but like they would buy like comic, they would put their own cover on it, but inside was a random publisher's comic. Yeah, this one's called Stamp Comics, one of the Stamp Comic issues. But you get it for free, so the kids didn't mind getting the shoes when they got the free comic. All right, we're getting down here. We got the last stack, Jack. Okay. Again, I don't know why some of these might have put these in here because they didn't have any missing pages or something. Here's an Atlas Comics Battlefront postcode issue. Hold on, oh, page 3. It's missing the first page. That's why I put it in here. That's a cool cover. This has the partial cover on it. Looks like a Marilyn Monroe type lady. Yeah. The Lonely World of Kathy Drake. I have some of these sorted by publisher. I had enough like atlases. Here's some Marines in action. Don't know why I have this one. It's got the cover on it. I should check on this thing. Rock Murdoch. Yeah. Marines at War has a cover on it. Here goes a Patsy and Heidi partial cover. Now, if you're going to get a coverless one, partial covers are a little more desired because you actually get part of the cover. Sometimes when they'd slice the title off, they'd slice, if you look at this book here, I'm trying to open it here. I'm going to know. Sometimes when they'd slice it, they'd slice a couple of the interior pages too because they just used a razor knife when they did that stuff. Some guy sitting in the store. There's a Patsy and Heidi. Oh, yeah. I already said that. Yeah. Here goes another Atlas title, Pinky Lee. Didn't run for that long. It's got a partial cover on it. This one's from, it says, oh, it's the #1 issue from 1955. How about that? Battle Brady, one of the Atlas war titles. They always drew like the Asian people yellow. I think this is either, I don't know if it's a crime title or a horror title or what is it. What else is in here? Doesn't look like a horror title. Red Pirate. I don't know what the hell this is. It's an Atlas. I don't know what it is. White Death. That's kind of cool. Oh, here goes a Black Knight. Yes. These are fun. Oh yeah, Black Knight is the bomb. This would later become Marvel's Black Knight of the 60s, the guy on the horse and stuff. Here, I don't know if it must be Marines in Battle, could be the name of the title. A Time to Die. This is Battle #8. Battle #8. Combat #3. I wrote some of that. Kent Blake #12. Artwork's just okay on that. Silly Sealing Ziggy Pig. Here's the interior shot. Some war title. I don't know what the hell this is. Jungle Strike. I don't know what that is. Lozar. I don't know if that's the name of the title. It's a Jungle Atlas issue. Ooh, Leopard Girl. Kind of fun. Lorna the Jungle Queen. Always had those bondage type things on the covers. Lorna. Yeah. Early 50s issue. Speed Carter Spaceman. That's kind of neat. got the back cover on it still anyways. Oh, that looks like pretty good artwork. Okay, I don't know what this title is. Oh, that's like one of the war titles. The Atlas war titles. Hit and run. Don't hit and run me. I don't know if this is a war title or a Western title or what the hell this one. That's a war title. I don't know which one. Here's one with it. It's got the cover on it, but it's split. It's a Wonder Duck, and it feels kind of light, so it could be. Oh, it's an early Marvel one. Wonder Duck. The interior looks good. Another interior shot. Wonder Duck. Actually, I don't think this back cover belongs to this. See, because here's the front cover, and the back cover is a Popeye. And Popeyes, oh, it even says Dell Comics. This doesn't belong to this one. I don't know how they got together. Whatever this is. I think it is an Atlas. It must be an earlier Atlas, like a late 40s one. Oh, it's got the name of the title on it right here on the top. You see, it says Lawbreakers Always Lose. This might not be an Atlas. Or it could be, I don't know. Here's an old Western Gunfighters. I don't know why the hell I got it in the bag and board here. But that might be complete. I don't know what's doing in there. And then here, I won't even open these. I got to sit there in bags and boards. Here's a Madhouse #1. That's kind of a Mad knockoff. I found these from some dealer, but they were in good shape. They were missing partial cover, but they were like pretty cheap. Here's a Madhouse #2. Yeah, here's a Bughouse, another Mad knockoff. You see all the elaborate artwork they put in that thing. Again, it's missing part of the cover. Here's a Hijinks #7. Here's a Westerner. The title was Westerner. They're pretty cool. They're undervalued too. Here's another Westerner. #31. Here's another Westerner. #32. And finally, here's another Westerner. #35. This title ran for 50, 60 issues. I think they're affordable Golden Age titles. Anyhow, just kind of going through some of my random books and stuff, man. Thanks for checking out my video. Phil's a Thrill is my name. Like music and old comic books. Have a great day.